Good evening / good morning, everyone. Welcome to Mystics Outlook. We got Cardo Dudley Jr. here. I'm Wilson Tarpe Jr. Look, this is the first part of the Mystics road trip out west. So y'all know they're out west and we're talking to y'all between these hours. Uh, the good thing for Washington, this is back-to-back wins right now, right? Brittany Sykes with back-to-back big games. This one was tough. We saw them kind of go through their normal thing where live ball turnovers almost put them in a bad place in this game. They dug themselves out of it. Sykes late free throws. I had those up on the screen just a little bit. But Cardell, what did you think about just their mental fortitude and will to like dig themselves out of a place they kind of helped put themselves in on the road?
Their defense. They're just grinding out a way to win by any means necessary. It wasn't pretty. They had two major injuries to two key players. Shakira went out, didn't return. Atkins went out early in the second half and didn't return until late. However, Brittany Sykes is looking like the Brittany Sykes we known her to be. She's kind of got her rhythm and her the chemistry with the rest of the team. Took a few games, but she's starting to get her legs under her, and you starting to see the 20 points, the 5 or 6 rebounds, the 3 or 4 assists every night, and most importantly, the defense. You know what I mean? You starting to see that, and then other players are stepping up. Van Lou hit some shots. Shatori, that little mid range on the break. The fourth. Back-to-back mid-range jumpers. It was one baseline and then one on the break. When she pulled up just inside the free throw line, she knocked that down. That was huge. And Emily Ingsler, she was huge off the bench. Huge. 12 points, 9 rebounds, 5 or 8 from the field, and the game-sealing deflection on the neck of Gwumake to make sure they won their game. You know, people they're just finding a way to fight and win and stay in the playoff hunt. You know what I mean? With these back-to-back wins, now you're 3.5 hours of the final spot, and it's reachable with I think about 10 games left. As the bad as they look offensively at times in the second half, especially once Shakir and the area went out, their defense held up to the point where Seattle looked worse. Holding Seattle with Gabby Williams now playing to 29 points in a half. I mean, look, Coach T, young T, man, I know he like, goddamn, we got to do something, offensively. But he also smiling at the defense that they played. You see what I'm saying? And especially on the road in their building, and for you to come up with that defensive effort with Gabby playing, and like with Boomcase, Skylar Diggins Smith, Ezzy's gonna be on all defensive team. I mean, like Jewel Lloyd, come on now, like that's they got some hitters over there, and for you to find a way to pull out this win and do it with your defense, this is the fight we were expecting to see throughout the season if they were healthy. But regardless if they're healthy now, you still got to get that. And you just starting to see them be professional, just like, look, man, it is what it is. Let's just go out there and leave it all on the floor. And you'd be surprised what can happen when you leave it all on the floor. And that's what you saw, man. And they really grinded out this win. And you want to know how you could really tell? They out-rebounded a front line with Gabby Williams, Nneka Ogwumike, and Ezzy Mabega. 42-33. They won the rebounding battle with no Shakira Austin from the majority of the second half. That tells you all you need to know, man. And it shows that they're not quitting, and it shows they have a lot of fight in them. And it's gonna be interesting if they maintain this sense of urgency and just this will to win. Just win by any means necessary. Let's just have more points than the other team when the clock runs out. If they maintain that type of mentality, it's going to be interesting in the last 10 games of the season as, what happens in the playoffs, because it's not out of reach. 3.5. Now you put together about 3 or 4 game win streak, you could easily be in the AFC because none of them are like really separating themselves from the 8th on down. So, you play until you can't play no more, man.
Yeah, to piggyback on what you're saying, just you have to appreciate their fight. Again, on the road in their building. This was Gabby Williams' debut. They on 10. They named the street after Sue Bird today. Like, Seattle was like, You want to talk about a hostile environment, like, and then I think they turned the ball over. What was it, 11 times in the first half? Like everything was there.
10. Oh, you talking about Washington or
Yeah,
Seattle?
Washington. I think they turned it over. It was 10 times in the first half. Sorry.
10 times.
So 10 turnovers on the road.
And Seattle scored 12 points off of them in the first half.
Like, and then you talk about what they held them to in the second half. Sometimes ugly wins count just as good as blowouts. Like a win is a win. There's no style points to it. Like it sounds good, but we're in a situation that they're in, like you mentioned. But they're gonna take a dub however they get it. We saw the other day, it was a little, it was a little interesting at times, but again, they went into this year with the plan of kind of at least it seems, and you can tell me if you agree, kind of like we were talking where Courtney Williams is in her career now. Her and Sykes a little similar in where they came in undersized twos essentially, and at times learning to find their way playing one as combos and whatnot. And Court has had the opportunity. We've seen her kind of cross over to that place now in Minnesota where she's able to pick her spots, and look at what it does for the Lynx. This looks like that was going to be a great opportunity for Brittany this year, but she got hurt. And it put this team in a bit of a tailspin, and you lose Shakira. They fought. Like, you have to appreciate it, and we've seen her kind of get her legs back at times. You mentioned them being kind of up and down offensively, which is to be expected. You had 3 different iterations of a team due to injuries this year.
Right.
Carly's still out. I think Aaliyah's been hurt at times. Your front court hasn't been there. I think Steph Dose has been the only big that's been there all year, for the most part. And you mentioned Inkster. Just it was all hands on deck, man. You got to appreciate it. Give them credit for that. It doesn't matter how you get it done. You got it done.
For sure. I think Sykes kind of played this role last year, so she knew what to do. It's just a new team. But when she got hurt, they had to try to find themselves or whatnot. So she's capable, doing the one thing or two, playing either guard spot. She just had to get healthy. I think with her, she leads with her defense. As potent as she can be offensively and in various ways, whether it's scoring, facilitating, running the team or whatnot. She also gets after her defensively. So that's when I knew like she wasn't quite ready, when she first came back. And I'm like, she don't just get lit up like that. People don't, you don't target her like that. You know what I'm saying? And now she's looking like Sykes, where it's like, all right, and you see the results, man. Like, I don't think people understand the defensive effort, the great defensive effort that the Mystics had. You held Nneka Ogwumike to 4-14 shooter. She shot 28%. And only had 9 points. Jewel Lloyd, 5 of 18. Skylar Diggins-Smith, 4 of 10. Gabby Williams, 1 of 5. That's game time. That's game time. You got you got 4-day hitters to be like off the charts inefficient. And this is why we say offense sell tickets, defense win games and championships. Because without their defensive effort, they don't win. They had to hold them down because their offense wasn't clicking outside the first quarter. And them turning the ball over, which has been plaguing them all year. You know what I'm saying? And to have Nneka Ogwumike, the top 2 leading scorers, Nneka Ogwumike and Jewel Lloyd both shoot below 30% in the game. I mean, come on now. Like, you couldn't ask for a much better effort. There's no way you coming in the game, you thinking that's going to happen. There's just no way. So to have that happen and you give yourself a chance to win, you just got to tip your hat to them, man, because that's hard. Like, let's call it what it is. Like, we got on them after that, the Lynx game, or was it Seattle? It was one of those 2
I think games. It was Lynx. Seattle was earlier in the year. Lynx was the most recent one.
Where the Lynx just handled them. And it's like, man, y'all giving up on the season. All right, it's dangerous in the W to play like that. But now you see how they played tonight. It's like, okay, that's the fight and grit we're used to seeing from you guys. I'll say in the Tabalt regime, since Tabalt, because we both, our first year covering the teams went to Tabalt first year with the Mystics, the Pops. So we used to always see them fight no matter what, whether they win or lose, they're going to compete. And then this you saw it tonight, man, and it was great to see, man. And think about it, they won, and Ariel Atkins was 1 for 5. She only played 19 minutes because she went out. Shakira out, Stephanie Dolson 2 for 10. Brittany Sykes didn't shoot the ball well, but she found a way, you know what I'm saying, to put points on the board. 20 points. Like, nobody outside of Shatori and Ingles shot the ball well. Jay Melbourne was 2 for 2. But anybody with high volume shots, they didn't shoot well. You know what I'm saying? So, all in all, man, just an impressive one, man. You know what I'm saying? But they got to keep it going. Can't give it back. You got to keep it going.
Right, and this was just the first part of this road trip. They got a great opportunity come Wednesday. They're in Chicago.
That's
Chicago,
huge.
like
that's a huge.
With the way that Chicago's sliding a little bit right now, that's one of those games that has implications behind it if you're able to leave that game with multiple implications behind it if you're able to leave that game with a W. Obviously, you got to take care of, be present for the games that you're in. Obviously, the game against Seattle came first, but just a really impressive win tonight, man. I think I know where we're going with player of the game and X Factor, but Emily Inkster was huge tonight. Almost had a double-double off the bench. Tonight, as you mentioned, against this front line, that's absurd.
Yeah, player of the game, Brittany Sykes for sure. 20, led the team, 20.6 rebounds, 3 assists, but game-winning free throws to get them up. And obviously the X factor is Emily Inkster. You know what I'm saying? Just a 12 and 9, 3 assists, a little bit of everything, 3 steals. You know what I mean? 2 or 2 from deep. Game-winning deflection to seal the game on the neck of Ogwumike. Ariel came down to finish her off. You know what I'm saying? When she knocked the ball loose, then Ariel came dug down and made sure she didn't get a shot off. It's a total team effort, man. So they got to continue it because, Wednesday game is huge. Huge.
Especially after getting this one tonight, because like you said, you don't want to go backwards after. It's back-to-back wins. You got an opportunity, you make it 3 in a row. Looking at the standings, you said they're 3.5 back right now?
Right now, yeah.
So it's 3.5 back. If you're able to come out on Wednesday with a dub, obviously that's a whole game on Chicago. But again, it's on Chicago who's ahead of you.
Mm-hmm.
If you're able to get that done. Which, again, additional ramifications. Doesn't matter. It is what it is at this point. Like you said, just got to get dubs. Give yourself an opportunity. Yeah.
Just win, baby.
Pretty much. We'll see y'all after Wednesday night's game, which should be a little bit earlier than this one.